Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, as you guys probably already know, Bitcoin has finally broken out of the consolidation pattern that we've been looking at. If you'll remember, I'm totally going to pat myself on the back a little bit here. 4 days ago, I said within 4 days, Bitcoin will be breaking to the upside, and I said that Bitcoin should be trading above $12,100. So yes, Bitcoin is going to have a little bit of a hard time getting through 11.7 to 12.1. But guess what? I'm making a call here. It is going to happen, and it's going to happen within the next 4 days. That is my prediction. Bitcoin will break the zone of resistance between 11.7 and 12.1 within 4 days. That should be before August the 10th. That's my prediction, and in fact, there's a good likelihood that it'll happen even quicker than that. I was partially right, because Bitcoin has broken bullish, but we're not quite above 12.1 just yet. Nevertheless, the fact of the matter is Bitcoin is in the middle of a breakout, and in fact, when I opened the chart today, I saw something that I drew on the chart yesterday, and it gave me a great idea for a video topic. So guys, in today's video, we're not only going to be breaking down what's going on Bitcoin and covering the short-term analysis on Bitcoin and where Bitcoin is heading, we're also going to be talking about a vital trading tip that you guys have probably not heard, or at least if you have heard it, you probably haven't heard it in a while because I don't see many people talking about this. Guys, this one tip will stop you from getting burned on all kinds of trades. It's very important, so we're going to be talking about that later on in today's video. Guys, today is Monday, my favorite day of the week, and we're about to dive on into it, but before we do, there's one thing I want to mention, and that'd be the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. As you guys know, CT2A is on sale. You can use the coupon code BULLRUN2020 for $40 off at checkout. If you guys want to get started working in cryptocurrency markets, trading them, analyzing them, and actually profitably trading and investing in them, I highly encourage you to invest in your education. CT2A is a compilation of 36 videos and over 12 hours of high-quality content that'll teach you what you need to know to get started in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets. More on that at the end of the video. But for now, though, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Guys, as you probably know, if you look down on the hourly chart on Bitcoin, we did have a breakout to the upside about 12 to 14 hours ago. Immediately following that breakout, we Bart Simpson down, and then we rallied right back up to where we started. As you can see on this cluttered chart, and I'll show you why it's cluttered here in a little bit, Bitcoin broke to the upside a little bit this morning and rallied to about $12,000 where it stopped and rallied 3% in doing so. Following that, we traded sideways and Bart Simpson down 5% on 1 hourly candlestick, and from there, we rallied very, very quickly. Why did I leave all this stuff on the chart from yesterday's video? I'll tell you why, and I'll get to that later. As for today's analysis, let's jump onto a clean chart and see that what Bitcoin did last night was actually very, very important. We broke bullish, we pulled back and got support in this area inside the consolidation pattern, and then we broke once again. This is actually a very bullish look for Bitcoin. Even though we pulled back, that's okay because the bulls shot us right back up to where we started. So what does Bitcoin do from here? Well, guys, we're not actually technically out of the woods yet because, as I said, the top of our resistance zone is around $12,100. And as I said 4 days ago, I think Bitcoin's going to break to the upside and it's going to be above 12.1. We're not above 12.1 yet, so I was a little bit off on the timing, but I do think that's going to be coming in the next couple of days. The reason is, if we look out on the 4-hourly chart and especially out on the daily chart, we can see that even though volume was declining, as you would expect in a consolidation pattern, we have seen a return of volume right there. Not only that, on the shorter term time frames, obviously we can see that the Bollinger Bands have started opening up, and in fact, if we look at the Bollinger Bands, we can see, number one, most importantly, there's been a return to volatility, at least a little bit on Bitcoin, which is very important, but we can also see that Bitcoin rallied up to the 4-hourly Bollinger Bands and rejected off of them. This would explain why Bitcoin pulled back. We hit resistance at the top of our $12,100 zone, and we also hit the top of the Bollinger Bands. So does that mean that Bitcoin's doomed and is going to crash the floor and go down to Gehenna and just die? No, it means that Bitcoin has rejected off of some resistance and is trying, it's moving to the upside, but it's just going to take a little bit. Nothing to really be worried about. I'm very confident in this market right now, and I'm looking forward to Bitcoin breaking 12.1, which I do think is probably going to happen in the next couple of days still. One thing to keep in mind, guys, is that it looks like shorts are really high right now. It looks like on this 4-hourly chart that shorts have been rallying from 5,000 all the way up to 8,000. They've doubled in the last week. Doesn't that mean that Bitcoin is screwed? Well, there's a really cool button up here called Compare. And with this, we can compare the shorts to the longs. And what you're going to find is that the longs are significantly higher than the shorts. In fact, they always have been, but especially right now they are. Longs are sitting up here at 31,000 and shorts are sitting down here at 7,000. If we measure top to bottom, there's a 300% difference in these right now compared to back in May of last year when there was only a 30% difference. What that means is that the distance between the longs and the shorts have gotten much, 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 much greater as people have come to realize that we are entering a bull market. You might say, but Jeb, the last 6 months they've been pretty far apart. You'd be right, but even a month ago, they were 200% apart, 14,000 less shorts than there were longs, but now they're 300% apart and 22,000 less shorts than longs. Now, that is only on one exchange over on Bitfinex, but I still think that paints a picture of what people are thinking in Bitcoin right now. I think there's always going to be a little bit less longs than shorts, simply because more people understand longing. A lot of people don't really understand what exactly a short is when they're getting into the market. So that makes sense, but the massive discrepancy in the jump in longs and the relatively speaking small jump in shorts explains a lot. Furthermore, guys, let us not forget that Bitcoin has jumped massively over on Google Trends. We're sitting at 76. We've seen a couple of highs like in May and back in March on Bitcoin correlating to the highs that Bitcoin had run to. But what do we see on the chart? Bitcoin is higher now than it was in March, and it's higher now than it was in May. But over on Google Trends, which is a little bit lagging, albeit we're actually lower than both of those peaks, which means Bitcoin has gone higher with less outside investment and less outside interest and less outside engagement. What that means is that the majority of the cryptocurrency space, certainly more than we had 6 and 3 months ago, are bullish on Bitcoin for good reason. We've just entered a bull market. So let's not make the mistake of zooming in too close and saying, oh, look at that 5% candle drop where we dropped $500 in 1 hour like we talked about earlier. Let's not get too hasty. Zoom in and say, look, we had a Bart Simpson. Obviously, Bitcoin's going down. Let us zoom out a little bit and remember one of the things we talk about in CT2A, which is that longer-term trends override shorter-term trends far more often than not. We talk about that in this video right here. Short-term versus long-term technical analysis. Which one's on top? Long-term. What's the long term on Bitcoin right now? The long term on Bitcoin right now is a big old double thumbs up. Bitcoin's heading to the upside. But just because Bitcoin is heading to the upside does not always mean that you're necessarily going to trade it for perfect profit. And if you did exactly to the T what I said in yesterday's video about how to trade this market, you would have gotten stopped out and lost money. But in that video, I said make sure you're using your own wisdom in trading and don't just do what I say. Here's why I say that every single time I bring up a trade setup. Guys, I'm not here to hold your hand. And in yesterday's video, I literally said, if Bitcoin rallies above a level right around here, probably a good place to enter. If you did that and you waited to sell exactly where I said it was going to, you would have missed selling out. Not only that, you would have fallen down here and triggered a stop loss, which I said to put just below this level of resistance, now support. I said that verbatim in yesterday's video. I want to make a point with this because if you followed what I said yesterday to the T, which I told you not to do, but if you had have done that, you would have actually lost money here. Not only would you have lost 1% with no leverage, a lot of you guys are probably trading with 25 or 50x leverage, which you shouldn't be doing if you're newer to the space. You also would have missed out on a 2% gain where you could have sold up here around 12K. Here's the point I want to make. Building on what I said yesterday, I want to make this very clear because I said this many times in yesterday's video. I say it in every video I do like this. I never want you guys trading based off of specifically what I say to do. Why would I say it then? Because I want you to understand the mentality of how one knows what they're doing, goes about setting up a trade. But there's a very important part, and this is what I mean when I say wisdom and making sure you're not just following blindly. When you're setting up a trade and you're kind of following a blueprint that an influencer like me or someone else or an analyst or whatever gives you, you want to make sure that you understand why that setup works and how to manipulate it to your own benefit. When I set an exit price on a setup like this, it might change. If I were to trade this market, I would have exited around $12,000. Did I go into that much excruciating detail in yesterday's video? No, because I don't want to go into excruciating detail because I want you guys to learn how to do that on your own. I never want you guys being reliant on me. Like I've said in many videos, I'm not your mother. I'm really not, and I'm not here to hold your hands. I'm worried, and the reason I'm saying this is because I'm worried that some people watch these videos and they hear me go over trade setups, which everyone else on YouTube is afraid to do because they're worried they're going to get backlash. I'm doing it because I know it'll help you guys if you follow my directions and actually do what I say. I'm worried that some of you guys look at the trade setups I say and you just blindly follow them, which I specifically say not to do every single time, but I'm concerned that some of you do. So you don't have to call yourselves out, but if anyone is brave enough to do in the comment section down below and say, yeah, Jeb, I followed exactly what you said, and I didn't do what you said about using my own wisdom, and I made this trade and I lost 1% on the trade, I'd love for you to tell us in the comment section down below so people know I'm not just preaching to a choir that doesn't exist. But when I talk about wisdom in trading and when I talk about not blindly following people, this is what I'm talking about. Because if you had blindly followed what I said and not used your own wisdom, you wouldn't have sold because you would have waited up here. If I were in this trade and I saw this massive breakout and I saw it flag out for 5 hours, I would have sold here. But I didn't know that Bitcoin was going to do that because it hasn't happened yet when I made yesterday's video. I didn't trade this, but if I were to, I would have seen Bitcoin flag out for 4 or 5 hours, and I would have exited like 75% of my position and held on to a little bit just to see what happened with it. But I can't be there with you. So guys, I want to make this so clear because so many people are blind sheep. I had a friend tell me that a friend of his was out in the woods, right? Out on a mountain bike trail. Hadn't seen anyone for 30 minutes, and then they're out in the middle of the woods, probably a mile from the nearest human, and what does he see? He sees a person wearing a mask. What are you protecting yourself from? Do the trees have Rona now? Like, people are sheep, and I don't want you guys to be sheep because sheep get led to slaughter. And that is not what I want for you. So I know I've been harping on it for a minute, but I want to make sure you guys understand what I'm saying. I think you do now. Anyway, guys, that is going to wrap it out for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. As always, if you did, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Before we go, though, guys, I do want to mention what makes this channel possible, and that would be the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. Guys, CT2A is what allows us to make these videos and all of the expansion that we do, guys. There are 5 people on this team now, and we have a lot of people working on things behind the scenes to continue bringing you guys high-quality content. You're going to start seeing a lot of that very, very soon, moving into the office in 3 weeks to the day, actually. Guys, there is a ton of expansion coming, and CT2A makes this possible. Guys, the reason that you want to go through the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy is because it is going to teach you the skills that you need to know to read these markets. Everything I just said in this video, it's been covered in CT2A. If you'd gone through the academy, you would have already heard me say it. I'm talking literally everything we talked about in this video. Consolidation patterns, Bollinger Bands, volume, trading, setting up trades, having wisdom in trades, knowing what you're doing, having experience, risk and reward strategies, profit taking, all of that. We talk about all of that in CT2A. Literally every single thing I talked about in this video, I go into excruciating detail with over in the academy. Guys, if you want to learn technical analysis, there's one place to do it that I know of. If you guys know a competitor, let me know and we'll beat them, but CT2A is the best place to go because of our community, because of what we built, and because it's built on 3 years of experience, my experience, and you're not going to get that anywhere else. Guys, investing in your education is one of the most important things you will ever do. Why do you think that people spend the first 20 years of their life, if not more, in school? It's because investing in your education is the most important investment you will ever make. A lot of people think that they can wing it, and look, winging it is not a good idea because winging it is going to get you burned. If you're going to be trading especially, you need to know what you're doing, and you don't need to be doing it on your own. It's a mistake. I promise you, I've seen so many people get burned, and I don't want that to happen to you guys. CT2A is going to do a very good job of helping you to not be one of those statistics that gets burned and leaves crypto, because you don't want to get burned and you don't want to leave crypto. I promise you, you will regret it if you do. Anyway, guys, that's enough of my spiel for today. I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you want to hit that like button, let us know down below. Guys, I do appreciate you all sticking with us. We're about to hit 51,000 subscribers. Guys, we're just going to the moon. Forget Bitcoin going to the moon. The channel's going to the moon. Thank you, guys. Anyway, guys, like I said, that is going to wrap it out for today's video. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.